Scott Grimes. I play for the York Revolution in York, Pennsylvania. I'm from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania.
Now, how far is that from York?
Right around an hour, about an hour away. Pretty easy drive.
So did that have any impact when you were deciding to sign here, knowing that, you could have family and friends come out to see you?
Well, last year was kind of tough. I was all over the place, flying around. I was all over the place last year, and then I'd usually been pretty close to home. Did it have a weighing on my decision? Not really, because my parents are used to it, but it makes it a lot easier for them. Makes it a lot easier for me to see them. Makes it a lot easier for them to come see me. So it had a little bit of a weighing factor, but not really, not too much.
I bet. How many of your games have you had people, whether it's your parents, friends, family out to?
Quite a bit. I mean, my parents probably come to every weekend game, every weekend home series that are here. They come to Lancaster too, Camden as well, because that's about a half hour, 45 minutes. So they get to come. They get to come to quite a bit of games that are. A lot of stadiums are relatively close, so it works out pretty good for them.
So, about what percentage of your record-setting runs have they seen scored?
I mean, I probably maybe 40, 30 or 40.
What does that mean, to set that kind of record, to have those kind of numbers? I know as a player, you're not supposed to be thinking about stats, and you don't. But at what point did you realize what kind of lofty numbers you were reaching there?
I mean, once I passed or surpassed the York record, people started putting it in my ear about the league record and how it could be attainable and stuff like that. But it's a lot of, I mean, I'm just doing my job as a leadoff guy, I guess, getting on base, and then you can attest on my runs to the guys behind me. They're doing their jobs of driving me in. So, I mean, I got to thank them as much as they can thank me for giving them RBIs, I guess. You're trying to think about it. I mean, a lot of guys like to ask questions about it. A lot of reporters like to ask what you're thinking and is it something you shoot for. But you don't really think about it. You kind of go about your business and about your gear and try to put up the numbers you can. And I was lucky enough to be able to attain that one.
Now that you can almost, look back on it, looking at the names of the players that have played in this league, since it was revived in '98, to have set that kind of record, to have, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it does mean a lot. I mean, you see a lot. I mean, there's a lot of former big leaguers. There's a lot of big name guys that have come through this league, and a lot of big name players that have been in this league. For me, being my first year in this league, I think it's a pretty decent milestone for me to meet in my first year. So it was pretty exciting for me. I mean, even though I'm kind of humble to that stuff, but I mean, it means a lot to my teammates. I guess a lot of people congratulated me and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, if you sit back and look on it, it does mean a lot. I mean, you think about the names that you had said that have been through this league and stuff like that, and you think about where you sit with those guys or what everybody else thinks about it. So I mean, it does kind of mean a little bit to you.
Now, looking on your life, and it can be on or off the field, of what accomplishment are you proudest?
Probably graduating college. That was probably the biggest, one of my biggest accomplishments that I'm proud of, because neither one of my immediate mom or dad went to college. They had to go to work right out of high school. So for me to graduate college was a big deal for me and for my mom and dad. And that was a very emotional day for my whole family.
Where did you graduate from?
A very small school in Scranton, Pennsylvania called Keystone College. I was lucky enough to find the outlet that Keystone was, and I really was very uneducated in the whole college thing from high school. My guidance counselors were very informative on what I had to do to go play where I wanted to go, so I had to find an alternate route, and Keystone was a great place for me.
What was your major?
Sports and recreation management.
So you're set, like once through baseball, you can really kind of combine.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it easier. I mean, it makes it easier for me to be able to set into a decent position, or to find a position somewhere in a decent company or something like that.
What do you think you'd want to do if you weren't playing baseball?
I mean, I work for a baseball academy now in the off seasons, so I teach baseball anyway in the off seasons. I mean, I could see myself coaching, doing something along those lines. But who knows? I mean, I've worked in a lot of different areas of sports, whether it be retail in sports, whether it would be coaching. I've done a lot of different things, and I've had a lot of great experiences in every one of them. So it's kind of a matter of what do I want to really pursue after the fact? Because nobody really wants to take on a kid that's there for 6 months and then is gone or there for 5 months, gone for 7. No big company or corporation wants to take on that burden because you're only going to be there for 5 months. So it'll be tough. But once I'm done baseball, that's something I can figure out. That's something I'm not too worried about.
Where's it? What academy do you teach at? So that people who are watching this
Sure.
can say, "Hey, I want to go send my kid to."
Sure. I work for All Star Baseball Academy. We have 4 different academies in my area. We have one in Westchester, Downingtown, Hatboro, Horsham, and Marple Newtown, I think, is the other one.
And you're in Westchester?
Yeah. No, I am in Downingtown.
Now, everyone's got a hidden talent.
Hmm.
What's yours?
I have as far as talent-wise go, I have no idea. Athletics were always number one. I mean, I have no idea what a hidden talent would be of mine. I have no idea. I mean, I really don't mess around with tricks or anything like that. I don't know. I'm pretty basic, to be honest with you.
Any hobbies or creative outlets that help you, get away from baseball, or?
Well, working out is a huge thing. I mean, I go in the off seasons. I'm at the gym probably 6 times a week. So, I mean, working out's another outlet for me away from baseball, and it kind of gets me out of that. I mean, I have a dog.
Oh, what kind?
I've raised 2 dogs. I have a pit bull boxer mix.
Name?
And Skip is his name.
Skip. Okay.
He is he's my son. I raised him since he was about 8 weeks old. So my dogs are my outlet as well now. I mean, they kind of.
Are they with you here during the season?
Oh no, not here. I live with my aunt in Westchester now, and she
Skip's
takes
with
care
his
of my
aunt?
one. Yeah, with his aunt. Yeah, Skip. She takes care of him, and so yeah, he's probably my other outlet to get away from everything, just to kind of go let him run around in the field, and I can just watch it and have a good time out there.
Dogs are good like that.
Oh, it makes it.
Has that made it kind of special for you being with York this year with the SPCA connection and all the shelter dogs and the bark in the parks and dog days they've had here?
Oh, I think it's a great thing. I mean, I'm a dog lover. I mean, I've been around dogs my entire life, and I love dogs. I've been to the SPCA here. I would love to adopt one if I could, but it's a pretty lengthy process. I mean, you got to give the SPCA credit now on how much they're cracking down on who they allow to adopt
Absolutely.
dogs. And but I've been here. I've talked to the people there, and I might be able to work something out. I got to see it in the off season. But it's only an hour away, so I could come adopt one here. But
would you get another pit bull to go with?
probably, yeah, because they get such a bad reputation, and they're not at all bad dogs.
It's just about how they're raised.
Yeah, it's all about who's around them and how they're brought up, and they get such a bad reputation. But I've had 2 now, and they're probably the sweetest 2 things I've ever been a part of, and they love people. And they do get a bad rep from news and everything like that, but you got to look at the people that are around first, and that's most of the time their issue. So. I love them to death, though. I can't get enough of them. If I had my own place, I'd get 12 of them. I'd have my own kennel.
So, complete the sentence, please. It would surprise people to know that I
Played soccer. I was a big soccer player when I was young. Football really wasn't much around my area too much. I mean, the surrounding areas, but not my immediate area. And most people don't think an athletic guy with the physical stature that I have, being my size or whatever, that they think that they don't agree that I played soccer in my life, and I played all the way up through my junior year of high school.
So, did you have a winter sport, or was that just where you
I played
worked out?
basketball. I played basketball for forever. Basketball was my number one sport. If I was taller, I probably would have played basketball further on in life, but I ended up being better at baseball, and a couple of schools that asked me about basketball, but they wanted me to play a position that I wasn't really comfortable or familiar with playing, so I kind of took baseball and just stuck with that. It seemed to work out pretty good.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Man, worst job I've ever had would have to be like I was like a volunteer at a summer camp one year, and I love kids. That wasn't the issue, but every day of working with them, probably 8 hours or however many hours it was, and not getting paid for it was not fun. I mean, it was a great time playing with the kids all the time, but not having a check every 2 weeks was pretty tough. I mean, I love the kids, don't get me wrong, it didn't have anything to do with them, but I never really had a technically bad job, whether it be at McDonald's or freaking working at a horse barn or something like that. I've never had anything that bad, but not getting paid for that was tough. That was something that was not something I'd want to do again.
Guilty TV pleasure?
I'm a big HBO fan. I watch Entourage. I watch Sopranos. I'm a big HBO series guy. Not regular TV, not like CBS, NBC, stuff like that.
No reality shows?
Nah, no reality shows. More the Entourage, Sopranos, that type of show. I was big into those shows.
So who would play you in the movie of your life?
I would like to hope The Rock would. That would be awesome. Dwayne Johnson would be nice to have play me. I'd like to have him play me.
If you could trade places with one person for a day, who would it be?
Oh my. Anybody in the big leagues, just to see what that experience is like for a day would be awesome.
Do you have a lot of friends though from coming up through the minors that are there that you're in touch with?
I have, not that I'm in touch with. I mean, there's a couple guys that I played against that are up there, but none have made it that are my immediate friends. I have a couple guys that are pretty high in systems, but have never got to that step. But that would definitely be something. I mean, you're playing the minors for so long, you'd love to know just a day would taste like up there.
Did you follow, knowing that, like kind of been following it all, what's happened with John Lindsay? 16
yes,
years.
I played against John for 1 year, so I know him pretty well. I mean, I played against him a lot, so I know him pretty well, and I'm pulling for him every day because he's the inspirational story, just like a couple other guys are that have come from indie ball that are still vying for that opportunity, and I really hope he gets his shot. He deserves it, just for even if it's like a week, but he deserves it.
Now, who's the most unusual character you've come across in your playing career?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of different characters that you come across. Everybody's got their different personalities.
Late in the season for me to try.
Got their different quirks. Got their different things that you have, and I mean, everybody has their own rituals, own everything. And it's funny how you watch guys do their business, but one guy. I don't even have one. There's probably about 30 I can name that are all nuts. This is one of them that's kind of crazy. This is my brother Chuck that I've been with for a couple of years now, and he's like a family member to me. So I've been around with him for quite a bit of time. But there's probably about 30 or 40 that I can name that are just off the wall. But everybody probably says the same thing.
And finally, your first year in the league, you're here in York. What has been your favorite thing about York, about the community, the team, just being here this summer?
Well, the town is a hometown town. I mean, the town is down to earth. It's a very middle class area. Everybody works. There's no real, like, everybody seems to know everybody. It's kind of like it's kind of a very small down to hometown, and they like their baseball. And if you're not doing right, they'll let you know. But that's what you expect anywhere. You want your fans to be into the game like that. You want your fans to know what's going on. So I mean, it's a good thing. It's a great little town. I mean, this is a great ballpark to have in this small of a town. I mean, this is probably the best ballpark that I've played in as far as the actual park goes. But as far as the town-wise goes, it's a very working-class town. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. I mean, I come from a middle-class family. I've worked for everything I've had in my entire life, and these people can relate to that. So that makes a big difference to me, to teammates, to everybody.
Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. No problem at all. Anytime.